Alrighty, so Modernia, obviously I know she's an old character, but her banner is actually back, and not only is she an old character with a rerun, she's still one of the best characters in the game, top 3 in my opinion still, and I think almost everybody's opinion at this point, right? I mean, too many characters. It used to be, it's so funny how things work, right? It used to be such an argument between Modernia and the OG Scarlet, and now they've literally dropped like so many characters, not like too many, where it's like now this character just dropped down, but they dropped so many characters where the OG Scarlet just dropped down in ranking and Modernia just stayed up, right? I guess they had to drop more damage dealers to really, for people to really understand how good Modernia was as an overall unit, not just somebody who can do damage. But we are going to be doing a showcase on her. Now, Modernia is my second most invested character, as you guys can see right here. One thing about Modernia is that she actually did get a free-to-play costume gacha skin as well. So if you did not have Modernia and you got the skin, now you can get Modernia and you also got a free costume gacha skin with the Modernia, right? It's a pretty nice one too. I like it personally. So yeah, I have her 10, right? I have her attraction leveled up, max dupes, max limit broken and stuff like that. The cube, I don't have it on her yet, but I'm gonna break down what she does and I'm gonna do a showcase, run some different team comps for you guys who are summoning for this character to kind of get an idea of what you want to run, right? I'm gonna run meta teams and I'm gonna try running some unique teams that, you know, are not meta teams as well for the people who need the non-meta teams. So her first skill, just for free, anytime she's in a normal attack, she just gives an additional 3.5% of final attack as damage. It's crazy, right? It's just crazy, right? She just deals 3% more final attack as additional damage when using a normal attack, and her normal attack is 7%, right? That's a total of 10%. With a machine gun, that's quite outrageous, right? With a machine, if this was something like a shotgun or a rocket launcher, then sure, that would be quite garbage. But a machine gun, let's be realistic. Activates after activating or attacking 200 times, effects of. She does stack crit damage, which is quite crazy, and that's going to be a permanent buff after you get 5 stacks, because getting 200 normal attacks in the span of 10 seconds is it's a machine gun character. This is, again, not a regular weapon. This is a machine gun. That's guaranteed going to happen. But the thing is, she does lower her max ammo capacity. That also does stack up. Somehow you don't notice it. I don't know how it works, because you don't notice it ever. You literally never notice the max ammo capacity drop ever. Like, you literally don't. So it's there, but you just don't notice it. Her skill 2 affects all allies when you enter a full burst, hit rate for 15 seconds. Pretty good for shotgun characters, right? That's her support mechanic right there. It's pretty good for a lot of characters. ARs, shotguns, SMGs, anybody, everybody, I guess. Hit rate is good for everybody, right? Except the characters like rocket launchers who are guaranteed gonna hit, right? And then effects off after using 200 normal attacks during the hit rate status. So essentially, when you're in a full burst, if she uses 200 normal attacks, she'll give herself a attack buff of 30% for 10 seconds. Very, very good. And remember, it's an attack buff of 30% for 10 seconds. Keep in mind, because it is a final attack buff that she gets for the additional 3%, this attack buff will obviously go into that, so that's pretty good. And then her burst skill, she actually does increase the full burst by 5 seconds, right? But then she does go into the destroy mode, where she gets unlimited ammo for 15 seconds and extends the line of sight. So essentially, she's going to have a circle. If you don't know what Modernia does, you're going to see in a second, but she's going to give herself a circle, and anybody within that circle radius is going to get hit, no matter if she's attacking them or not, right? And remember, she has unlimited bullets, but the only problem here is that it's essentially a weapon change. So she deals 24% of final attack as damage for the 15 seconds on top of the 3%. So it goes from 10% normal attack essentially all the way down to 5%. So she does less damage in it, but she does, again, recognize all enemies within that target, a single enemy. So it's quite good, right? Very, very good character and stuff like that. Let me build her up, and then I'm going to put together teams. So the first team we're going to actually be using is the schoolgirl team, and the reason why I want to run this team with her is because I want to show you guys again what that burst skill looks like, right, with the radius and stuff like that. That's going to help her out with damage and stuff like that. Modernia does hit very hard as well, right? She hits very, very hard. She's not a literally her damage comes from her normal attack, obviously, because that's the only place where she's doing damage, but she does hit very, very hard. So you guys are going to see her when we enter here. Literally, you guys can see this enemy. It's you can see that the radius is on the enemy specifically, but anybody who enters this circle, you can see is getting hit. So that's quite a crazy ability, and for 15 seconds, right? The only thing is that the damage decreases, but if you have a certain amount of enemies, it should actually make it back up, because it's not 2% distributed, it's 2% to that one enemy. So if there's like 5 enemies in one radius circle, she's probably going to do more than what she was doing with her normal attack. But if there's just one enemy, then she's going to do less, right? So I want to say it does depend on obviously who is on the team, or not who's on team, but who the enemy is specifically. But you guys can already see 97 million in one full burst is crazy, right? And we're entering our full burst again, but yeah, right, we're at 105 here. Let's see what it looks like after, right? They caught probably was more, but you guys see it's attacking multiple enemies here. So this is a good showing of her going crazy. It was at 105 million before the full burst. After the full burst, with all those people getting hit, 147 million. So, and it was probably more. We started, I looked at the thing at like 12 seconds in the full burst, but yeah, she's a very, very good character, right? She's a very good character. With schoolgirls, she's gonna land core hits since she is a machine gun. She's gonna go crazy. She's gonna hit. She's gonna hit very, very hard. So yeah, that's why I kind of still think if you don't have Modernia, I would personally recommend to get Modernia over the Scarlet, just because I feel like Modernia has more utility and stuff like that, right? That whole time she was supporting, doing damage, supporting with the hit rate and stuff like that, doing damage, and then also just with that AoE thing, that AoE, the destroy mode she has, actually can be used as a support mechanic as well. Not necessarily a support mechanic, but it's going to be useful in terms of attacking enemies and projectiles all at once, right? It's covering the map. Right, an AoE essentially. It's an AoE, but 181 million, crazy. Alrighty, so the next team we're gonna do with this Modernia is with the Bunny Girls. The reason why is because actually you could get infinite bullets with this team if I do decide to use her burst skill, but this time I'm not gonna use her burst skill because again, when you use her burst skill, depending on the situation, on average she's gonna do less than if you were to use, like if you were not to use her burst skill, right? So we're gonna be looking at her today. We do have the new Scarlet on the team as well, just a little aesthetic there as well. See, it's a damage comparison, especially since the new Scarlet hits like quite crazy, right? But I don't like how it doesn't go red for nobody else but this Scarlet, right? I wish the whole thing just went red, but it only goes red for the Scarlet. But yeah, you can see 24 million when Scarlet used her burst skill. Still Modernia's at 19 million, stuff like that. So you can see she's hitting hard, right? She doesn't have much damage support because she is only doing damage from her normal attack, which is quite impressive when you have characters like the OG Scarlet doing damage from her normal attack with 100% attack buff, and then also she has the AoE burst skill. Then you also have all these other characters who have damage like Anise and Lanmilla, right? Even Red Hood. These characters all have skills that make them do numbers, right? So this Modernia to still do that much with just her normal attack and the little increase she's getting, it's not, yeah, I would say it's a little increase, right? The 3% per additional hit, right? It's gonna stack up, which makes it crazy, and then only get the attack buff when you are in the like full burst, right? You only get the attack buff if you hit 200 times in a full burst, which is going to happen. But like, I do feel like she has little buffs compared to these other characters. But overall, you can see she's hitting hard, right? She's actually out damaging, right? We're in Scarlet's burst skill now, so Scarlet's probably gonna out damage here, right? She should at least, but she's catching up. But yeah, Modernia still cooks, right? When Modernia doesn't use her burst skill, she really is a different breed, right? She really is a different breed. So my Modernia still hit a bit harder than the Scarlet. Obviously, Scarlet's not built like my Modernia, not even close. But you can see Modernia can still do numbers, right? So Modernia is still doing this type of numbers. She does damage with those mechanics as well. But let me run some non-meta teams for the people who don't have these meta characters. Alrighty, so with this team, we're running essentially a crit damage team. I do want to kind of showcase her stacking with the crit damage. We have obviously an attack buffer like Privity anytime we enter the full burst. When Volume uses her burst skill, she gives a crit rate buff to everybody. We do have the 30-second crit rate buff permanent, well not permanently, but for 30 seconds from Masked, and then anytime we use our burst skill, we do get more crit damage, right? And it's a quite the amount, right? I gotta give her the gear, right? But it's quite a big amount, 20% there on top of the additional 39%. Pretty good. And then anytime we use a normal attack from Helm, or not anytime we use a normal attack, but when the last bullet hits, I believe, then she gives the crit rate to all allies. So pretty good, right? Gonna get a lot of crits here, showing you with the crit stacking. Pretty good combo, pretty good combo. All right, let's see. So yeah, she's gonna crit a lot. When you see these core hits with the black symbol, it means she's critting. If you see the ones with the white symbol, it means she's critting. You can see, you're gonna see it the entire time. Especially now, she's gonna go crazy. But she's using her burst skill. But after she uses her burst skill, you can see it's on her the entire time, right? If we go on her, where's Modernia? Right, you can see, where is it? Crit rate buff, crit damage buff that's stacked up 5 times. That is not from her, is it? It is. Okay, so the crit damage buff she gives herself, attack buff, hit rate buff, obviously, crit rate buff here, and then we should have another crit rate buff, I believe. Yeah, crit rate 1, 2, and then I guess we should get the next one from Helm, but she just hasn't landed the last bullet, right? But we're gonna have a lot. This team is crit rate crit. This is a crit team. It's a crit team, right? These characters, besides Privity, all here provide critical buffs and stuff like that, so it's gonna be very good. But look now, right? When she's not using her burst skill, right? She's critting the entire time, averaging like 40,000, 36, 37, round up 40,000. Right, very good character, right? Very good character. Her damage feels a lot less when using this team, though, obviously, because I feel like even though she's getting all these crit buffs and stuff like that, I don't know, I feel like in this game the crit buffs are not as good as obviously the attack buffs, right? That's honestly what it is. It seems like, honestly. In any other game, crit buffs, like, you're not going to run a full team that actually just caters to critting, right? You're going to run a team that caters to attack buffs and stuff like that, right? But the crit buff team is a good team for her as well if you don't have those major teams, right? You do have the selector right now, so with a comp like this, I know Privity is free, Modernia is guaranteed if you're summoning on her, and then you have Helm, which you can flex. You don't really have to have her on the team. That's just for the additional crit rate if you really need it. Volume and mass are the only 2 options like that you could use for your selector if you want this team and something like that. But yeah, she still performs like crazy, right? Quite crazy. Now we're gonna run this team with the full shotgun team with Modernia. Now realistically, you're never gonna use Modernia as like a support towards these characters, right? You're never only gonna put on a team for their hit rate buff, but obviously the hit rate buff is gonna help out some of these shotgun characters as well, right? So when we enter a full burst, they should get hit rate. You're gonna see that they're gonna have way better hit rate, like for these farther enemies here, right? Like hitting 3 times. Now we're in a full burst. Boom, all her hits are kind of connecting, right? 4, 3, 5. Right, so when we're in the full burst, she's helping the shotgun characters land their hits much better than when we're out the full burst. She's hitting, you guys are gonna see, average probably 2 hits. If she goes back to this enemy right here at the back here, we'll attack this guy right here, right, okay, 2. Okay, now Modernia, we're not gonna be able to really see the numbers. Modernia is gonna be attacking everybody. But yeah, okay. Everybody's getting hit here. Everybody's getting hit from Modernia, right? We're not really going to be able to see the numbers. But yeah, you can see she's hitting there. Their hit rate buff is 15 seconds, though, not 10 seconds. So that's good as well. That means for... Actually, yeah. Is it? It should be 15 seconds, right? Yeah, that means even after a full burst, you're going to still have the hit rate buff for the extra 5 seconds, right? So boom. Hit rate is going to be pretty better, right? Hit rate is accuracy in this game. Right, it's not anything like I say too noticeable, but it's definitely there, and you're gonna really notice it more when using a shotgun character, right? Machine gun characters are always gonna kind of just land their bullets. I would say SMGs are characters you're gonna notice it with. ARs you're gonna notice it with. The shotguns are like the heavy characters you're gonna notice it with, right? But again, you're not really gonna use her as a supporter, right? She just has that in her kit, so I wanted to kind of make a team out of that. But yeah, she's still gonna carry the entire team. So yeah, Modernia, she's still at the end of the day a DPS. She just has like maybe a few support mechanics. I could show you guys actually, because Blacksmith is out. Let me show you guys one more thing what I mean when I say support mechanics to her burst skill. So we're gonna run with the bunny girls again. What I mean when I say this is that because the radius is so big and anything within there is considered an enemy, a single enemy, it's gonna be easy for her to destroy projectiles better than most characters in the game, right? So we can cover here, or we could take the hit, it doesn't matter, as long as we get that burst skill off. Boom, literally we could have this right here, and then boom, and like literally anything, the rocket launchers are just gonna get destroyed, right? And that's what I mean when I say she has that support. It's not necessarily a support mechanics, but it's like kind of a support ability, right? By having that big radius that just destroys anything in the circle, you're going to be able to destroy projectiles easier than most characters, right? And then when we don't have it, I mean, now that there's only one, it shouldn't be hard to. Well, Red Hood, you know, Red Hood is doing what Red Hood does, and she ended up breaking them. But yeah, you guys understand what I'm trying to get at. So when you take all these little things and put it together to build up Modernia, you can understand why she's a top character. I do think she is a top 3 character. I think my rating right now is Red Hood overall, not damage, but overall, I think it's Red Hood, Modernia, then the brand new Scarlet. And damage, sadly, this Modernia doesn't compete because there's characters who hit much harder than her. But the fact that she still does a lot of damage, having all these little things with her is quite insane to me, right? I would think if they were going to give a character everything that this Modernia has specifically, that she wouldn't be able to do that much damage, but hey, they made it work. So yeah, she's a very good character. If you do not have her, this is your only chance, I want to say, to get her, because I don't think they're going to rerun her banner again. Most likely next year they're going to rerun Scarlet's banner with the New Year's character. Maybe they might rerun Modernia one more time for the hell of it. I'm not sure, but do not waste this opportunity if you do not own these characters. In terms of if you need dupes or not, you don't. I didn't go for dupes. I just ended up getting dupes along the way, because you can do that after these banners go away as well. So just get your one copy. I would say if you wanted dupes for somebody, probably the Scarlet, since she's like a main DPS, but that's up to you at the end of the day, right? Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Zxous, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.